Hello. Do you find yourself getting grumpier, a little crabbier, a little more cynical as you age? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. This is My Intentional Retired Life. My name is Barb, and at this channel, we like to talk about retiring with intention. And so I'm just wondering if you are trying to live intentionally when it comes to your mood. We tend to get a little more cynical as we age. And there are a couple of good things about aging that we find. One thing is that we really don't suffer fools anymore. And so we don't really care what people think of us. We care less and less as we age. And that is probably a positive thing. But I think that it can actually be taken a little too far. And we can become a little bit more cynical, a little bit more jaded, a little bit more grumpy, crabby as we get older. Some of the negatives of getting older are that our bodies begin to betray us. And what I mean by that is that things start to leak. Every orifice in our body seems to start to leak. Our nose leaks, our gas leaks at will sometimes, and also our bladders leak. And ladies especially, you know what I mean. You don't want to be on a rebounder or turning on a tap if your bladder is full. Anyway, so those are some of the things that can happen as far as leakage goes. Our bodies start to get aches and pains. There's a reason why in the old days I used to use liniment all the time. I'm quite familiar with BioFreeze, which is a form of liniment that I use for my aches and pains. Things happen like blood pressure. We can start to get illness, of course, which can be more serious. Things just don't work the way that they used to work. And that can cause us a lot of consternation, and we can just start to get grumpy. We don't feel like going anywhere. We just feel like just staying home. When we do go out, we don't smile at people. We just don't care to, we just want to get it over with. Just get everything done, get it over with, get back home and relax and put our feet up or whatever. But I think that it's, it's a bad habit to get into, to lose our joy in life. And so, I think that joy can be an intentional thing. We can choose joy. When I was young and I was in my 20s, I used to just get up on the wrong side of the bed all the time. I was just not a morning person. I did not like getting up in the morning to go to work, and I took it out on everybody. And finally one day I just got really convicted by that. And I thought, you know what? I got to stop doing that. It's not fair to the people that I'm living with that I get up grumpy. And so I just decided that was it. I was going to really make an intentional decision to wake up and not take it out on people, and just to try to wake up in a better mood. And it really did. It made all the difference. It made the difference for not only them, of course, really made a difference for them, I'm sure, but for me also. It started my day off in a far better way. And so I just think that it's something that as we age, we have to take things not so seriously. We need to find humor in some of the things that we are going through, because as hard as they can be humorous. For example, I'm going to tell you a story. I went out to get some things done. And of course, I always dress nice when I go out. I don't like to go out looking like I just rolled out of bed. But when I get home, I like to be comfortable. I like to take off all of the things that are constricting, if you know what I mean, and get into my comfy clothes. And so as I did that, I took off my shirt and another piece of clothing that women wear. And 2 Kleenexes dropped out of that clothing, one out of my sleeve and one out of the other place. And I laughed. I really laughed, because I thought, oh my goodness, here I am. When your nose runs, you start to put the Kleenexes where you can get them, where you can put them. I used to see that with my grandmother when she was old, and I used to think, oh, why does she always have a Kleenex stuffed up her sleeve of her shirt? Now I know. Anyway, other things happen to us, of course, as we age. We start to get cataracts. We start to not be able to hear very well, not like we used to. We also feel invisible. We start to feel like we are invisible to everyone around us. We can go somewhere and it's like we don't exist. And that can actually feel kind of hurtful to us. And we just feel like we're melting into whatever's around us, and nobody's noticing us at all. I go to church, that can happen at church. I can go to the bathroom and see a young mother there with her daughter and try to engage with the little girl or the mother or whatever. And it's like the mother's looking right through me. I don't know what it is, but I'm here. Anyway, the negatives can start to outweigh the positives. And so it's up to us personally to start to just not let that happen, to not allow those negatives to take over, because that's where we get into trouble. And we lose our humor, we lose our sense of humor, we lose our sense of joy. We also lose our sense of meaning in life, and we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to approach our golden years with laughter. They say laughter is the best medicine, right? And I do believe that. I laugh a lot. I am actually, even though I'm an introvert and I need my time at home alone, I am also a very friendly and outgoing person when I am out and about. And I tend to talk to people, total strangers in the lineup at the Walmart, whatever. I just strike up conversation wherever I go. And I always try to have a smile on my face, because I just think that people are so stressed. They're stressed, they're sad, they need a smiling face. They need some conversation. Sometimes that makes all the difference. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories here that happened not that long ago. It was pretty recent that these stories happened. One was that I was at a place in Canada called the Bulk Barn. And this place is, like it sounds, it's a bulk barn. You go, you buy bulk food there. And I buy a lot of nuts and seeds and almond flour and things for my kind of keto lifestyle that I have because of my prediabetes. And so I was there, and the gentleman that was at the till is very old. He works there. I've seen him there numerous times when I'm in there, and he is probably close to 80 years old. And he was doing something, he was trying to figure something out on the till, and he was going, oh no, I'm going to get myself into trouble again, ha ha. And I said, what makes you, why are you working here at kind of at your age? But I said it in a nice way, not in a rude way. He didn't take it that way. And that man's eyes filled with tears. And he said, my wife died. And I just couldn't stand staying home anymore. I needed to get out. And I needed to have a purpose and do something with myself rather than sit at home and grieve. His eyes filled with tears. My eyes filled with tears. And the next thing you know, we were having a moment. Well, that man needed that moment. I just felt it. And I think of those moments as God moments, that those opportunities to be Jesus with skin on, to be what that person needs at that moment. Just some compassion, some empathy. If I could have, I would have hugged him because across the till, but I didn't do that, of course. But I tapped his arm, and my eyes filled with tears, so he knew that I was feeling his pain. I think that's so important. We can lose our sense of humanity when we stop engaging with people. Back when I was growing up in the 70s, when I was a teenager in the 70s, excuse me, as you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I get my Kleenex up my sleeve. I get kind of a little weepy sometimes when I recount things like this. But I remember in my 70s when I was a teenager, and they used to call it the generation gap. It's been going on for millennium. There's a gap, and there always has been, and there probably always will be this gap between the generations where the older generation just doesn't get it. We just don't understand where the young people are coming from. And back when I was a teenager, my grandparents used to complain about the younger generation. I remember my grandfather, and he was a Scot. He was born in Glasgow, Scotland, and he had his Scottish brogue till the day he died. And I loved his accent so much. I wish I could do that accent for you, but I can't. I just can't figure out how to do it. I'm not good that way. But anyway, he said, I just don't understand the music today. All it is yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, he was talking about the Beatles. She loves you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. now here I am, 66, soon to be 67 years old. And here I am, and I'm thinking, oh, I just don't get this rap music today. I just don't understand it, and the bad language and all of the, and so it's funny that generation gap has not gone away. And now, but here I am now, my grandfather. The things that we used to think when we were young, and just like, I'm never going to be like that. And then here we are. So if you're young and you're watching this, just wait. Just wait. It's coming to you too. Coming to a channel near you or a station near you. Anyway, so what can we do to improve our mood? We just need to make an intentional choice that we're not going to allow all of these little things, these little aging problems that we have, get us down. My other story I wanted to tell you was when I was at Walmart recently, and I was standing in the lineup, and I could see the cashier, and she looked like she'd just rather be anywhere than there. And I thought, oh, this is not going to go well. She is just looks miserable, and she was not engaging with the people in the lineup in front of me at all. Not at all. She just almost looked like she was ready to roll her eyes at everybody. She looked miserable. It was New Year's Eve, and so just this last New Year's Eve, and so I'm there, and I went up, and as usual, I smiled at her. I said, "Gee, it's really busy in here. I thought it would be a little less busy since it's New Year's Eve, but I guess everybody's getting their hors d'oeuvres or whatever." And all of a sudden, her face lit up. Yeah, her face just absolutely lit up. She just started yapping and telling me all about her family and her mother. It was like a light switch had been turned on. And all of a sudden, it was just, I was astounded. I was really absolutely astounded because I couldn't believe it. What I had seen and what I was seeing there was two different people. It was amazing. And all it took was me smiling at her. And I always ask the cashier, how is your day going? How are you doing today? Or I'll say, oh, are you busy? I just treat them like a human being. Well, our world today, people are just so angry and so pitted against each other. We have got to stop buying into all this hype that pits us against each other. If you have to turn the news off, turn it off. I swear, honestly, it's very fear-driven. And all that they want to do is to cause fear and division, fear and division, fear and division. It's worse than it's ever been in my entire life. I can't believe how bad it is. And of course, we saw it during a certain period of time a few years back when a lot of this started. And then, of course, in politics, we see it. I'm not going to get into politics on this channel. Never. How are we supposed to love our neighbor if all we do is pick, and act like everybody's the enemy, that it doesn't have our point of view? We've got to rise above and do better. We really do. Doesn't mean that we have to agree with what people do, but we just have to treat them like human beings. Anyway, so that's about all I've got for you today. I just wanted to touch base with you. I know it's been a few days since I've been on here, and it's actually evening already. I couldn't seem to get myself in gear today to get this video done while it was still daylight. So I hope the lighting isn't too bad, and I just hope that you'll come back to the channel and join me again. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I thank you to all my new subscribers and to all of the people that have been leaving comments on my other videos, and just thank you so much for joining me. And please go ahead and go through the other 9 videos that I've posted and see if there's anything there that you're interested in seeing. And we'll talk again real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.